We think we're the golden generation of gaming, but if you think your modern multiplayer lobbies are toxic, you clearly wouldn't have survived a Sunday afternoon in the year 1200. Before there was electricity, people still needed to kill time, and sometimes they killed each other doing it. From the strategic game of kings to literal village-wide riots, we're looking at what people actually did for fun when knights and castles were the reality. If you were a king, a duke, or a knight, your games weren't just for fun. They were military simulators. Chess was the ultimate status symbol. It originally came from India and Persia, but Europeans gave it a medieval makeover to reflect their own world, turning pieces into bishops and knights. It was so respected that being good at chess was actually one of the 7 skills a knight was required to have. While the kings of England were playing chess, the Vikings were obsessed with a game called Hnefatafl. It was an asymmetric war game where one player's king was surrounded by an army and had to escape to the corner of the board. It was basically Bodyguard the board game. Now, if you weren't living in a castle, things got a little messier. The average person loved Nine Men's Morris. This was the Candy Crush of the 1300s. You can still find this game board carved into tavern tables, church pews, and even the stone floors of cathedrals today. People were also obsessed with gambling. They used knuckle bones, literally bones from sheep or goats, to play games of chance. This gambling got so out of hand that kings frequently tried to ban it because soldiers were losing their armor and horses in betting matches. But if you want to see the real chaos, you have to look at mob football. If you think modern soccer is intense, imagine a game with almost no rules where the pitch was the entire town. The goal was usually to get a ball to the neighboring village's church door. There were no team limits and no referees. In 1314, King Edward II actually banned the game in London, claiming the great noise and hustling over large balls was a public nuisance. It was basically a legal riot disguised as a sport. Finally, some games were actually mandatory. In England, the archery law of 1363 forced every able-bodied man to practice with a longbow every Sunday. Other unprofitable games like football were banned to make sure everyone was practicing for the next war. If you weren't shooting arrows, you were technically a criminal. Whether it was the quiet strategy of the throne room or the absolute carnage of the village square, people in the time of kings played hard. Let me know in the comments which of these games you'd actually be able to win, and I'll see you in the next one.